What's going on, everybody? Welcome back today for another video. My name's Stevious, and today, my friends, we are talking about Battlefield 6. Guys, there is one major detail that has me worried about Battlefield 6, and that is the fact that any class can pick any single weapon they want with no questions asked. Now, if the first time that you've ever played a Battlefield game was Battlefield 6 or maybe even Battlefield 2042, you might be sitting there going, what's the big deal? So what? Anybody can pick a gun. Well, it is a big deal. It's a very big deal. Over the last 20 years, there's been a plethora of first-person shooter games that were all military settings and came out and they all tried to combat Call of Duty or whatnot. But one of the only games that has stood the test of time was Battlefield. And that was because Battlefield had something in its DNA that made it stand apart from Call of Duty and every other game out there, and that was squad play. There's a whole lot that goes into squad play than just playing as a squad. Everybody has a class, everybody has a role, everyone has advantages and disadvantages, and it encourages you to work together as a team. And one of those aspects was depending upon other classes because of the weapons that they brought to the table. So that way, if you wanted to be that guy who was running around like, an engineer, you typically had a submachine gun. There have always been some weapons that have been able to be used amongst any class, like, carbines, shotguns, DMRs. Any of these could be used between any class back in the day. But when it boiled down to the primary classes, assaults always used assault rifles, engineers primarily used like SMGs or PDWs, supports typically used LMGs, and then recons were pretty much sniper rifles, and that's just the way it always was. When you remove these barriers and you're allowing classes to pick whatever weapons they want, what you're inevitably doing is you're ruining and destroying the identity that each class actually has. You're removing the gameplay balance of the way it was designed and the purpose and the things that encourage teamwork. I mean, I thought the idea was to make a great Battlefield game and not a clone of Call of Duty. They already tried that. It was called Battlefield 2042, and we saw how that went down. Something I think that the developers need to keep in the back of their heads is there is going to be a honeymoon phase with this game, the same way there is with every other game that comes out, no matter whether it's Call of Duty, Fortnite, Warzone. I mean, pick a game, it doesn't matter. They all have this honeymoon phase where everyone's madly in love with it, and then eventually it's going to taper off. And what's going to keep people playing if there was actually something real and substantial that was actually put into that game at its core. And let's also not forget, it was design choices like this is that what gave us 2042. Guys, if I'm being straight up, I want nothing more than Battlefield 6 just to be a straight banger across the board. But we still have like a month before the game comes out, and still then a little bit of time before we even get to the first season. We haven't seen what the Battle Pass system is going to look like or any of those other details. So yeah, there's still plenty of time for them to screw this game up. I hope that doesn't happen, but there's still a chance that that could happen if they don't play their cards right. You still got to make it to January 1st without any hiccups. I hope that DICE is really thinking about this stuff and looking at player feedback, because one of the things that they really want is they want old school Battlefield players to come back to this game. They're not going to come back if it feels like 2042. And I'm not going to lie, when I was playing Battlefield 6, yes, I loved it. It was so much fun playing that beta, but there were so many elements of it that felt like 2042, and just the thought of playing 2042 is so stomach churning, it's not even funny. So DICE, if there's anybody watching my small ass insignificant channel, please take this from the love of everybody in the Battlefield community. Lock those guns behind the classes the way it's supposed to be, the way it's always been in all the other Battlefield games prior to 2042 at least. And on to a little bit more of a positive note before we close out today's video, and I did share this on X, so if you want to go to my my Twitter handle or X handle, Stevious Gaming, you can see exactly what it is that I'm talking about. But another one of these leakers leaked actual like 9 to 10 minutes of gameplay on Reddit, and it showed the gameplay of the map Badlands. It's so sick. Now, as a reminder, this map is going to be something that's not coming at launch. It's going to be coming out in Season 1, and the way that I can describe it is it had like this Egyptian kind of layout, kind of setting in that kind of part of the world with a nighttime setting with fires burning around all over the place. It was a really sick looking map, but because of the fact that it is leaked content, it's not something that I can put on the channel, unfortunately. I do realize, though, that today's topic is a little bit on the controversial side when it comes to, the way people's opinions are going to go forth with this. Battlefield does not come out every single year. That's just not something that happens. It's not Call of Duty. It's not an annual release. So if you don't play Battlefield for, if you've only been playing it, let's say, for 6 years, you might have only played at this point 2 games. I mean, that's just real talk right there. So there's a very strong chance that a lot of you out there who are seeing this video or seeing any other things or even played the beta never really experienced Battlefield the way that it was actually designed and meant to be experienced. I would implore anyone who's watching this or even cares to find out, go and hop on Battlefield 4. From what I've seen on other people's channels, that game is still popping. All these years later, 12 years later, that game is still popping. And I mean, some people might argue that Battlefield 4 is not the greatest representation of what Battlefield is, and I would disagree with that. But that game had the guns locked behind the classes. It had a successful mode of rush. It had great maps. It had Levolution. It had it all. Battlefield 4 was a vibe. If you didn't get to play it, you missed out on its prime, you really missed something special. I would strongly recommend that you go play that game and then go and play Battlefield 2042 and tell me which one you like better. And if Battlefield 6 is supposed to truly be a successor to Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, well then, by golly, make it a successor. Lock the guns behind the classes the way it's supposed to be. Remove every freaking element from this game that resembles Call of Duty and let Battlefield be Battlefield the way that it's actually intended and designed to be played. So with all that being said, guys, drop your thoughts in the comment section. I want to hear what you guys have to say on today's topic. Do you want to see the guns open to any class, whoever wants to pick whatever gun? Like if you want to be an assault class and use a sniper rifle, if you want to be a dude in a engineer class, you want to have rocket launchers with a full assault rifle combo. I mean, what do you think? Is that the way it should be, or should it be in a traditional setting and be the way that it's always been? Drop it in the comment section. I want to hear what you guys have to say. But guys, that's pretty much all we've got for today. We definitely got more videos in the pipeline. Got plenty of Battlefield 6 we're going to be talking about all the way up to launch. Same thing with Black Ops 7. We're going to even be talking about Black Ops 6 a little bit. Got some more videos coming on Destiny 2 and pretty much anything else that tickles my fancy. And just to make sure that it's said, I appreciate every last one of you that takes the time to watch the videos and leave comments. It does mean the world to me. So with that, my friends, if you enjoyed today's video, drop a like. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on so you can be notified every single time that I upload a video. And this is your boy, Stevious, signing out, and I'll see you on the next one.